Okay, so we already worked on being able to manipulate or implement the 4 or 5 various CRUD operations. Being able to create, remove, update, delete users. We would like to look at being able to navigate to the objects associated to this particular instance, particular user. For instance, being able to navigate to Bob's websites or Alice's websites or Charlie's websites or Januzzi's websites. Yes, right. So again, move that to the server as well. Right. All right. So let's see what we have so far for the user. Let's see, for the user client, we were able to move all the implementations to the server, right? Notice that this is using the server, this is using servers. Oh, find user by username is still using the local array. Update user, delete user, find user by ID. So the only one that we have not completed yet is find user by username. But nevertheless, we don't really need this array of users anymore, right? We can remove it from here, right? Because we have that on the server side. Let's move on to the website, okay? So right here, right, when we navigate to Januzzi's websites, we are retrieving this from the website service client. Yes. So let's start. Let's move at least one of these. Being able to retrieve the list of websites from the server. Let's do that. Right now, it's being hosted in here, right? In website services. Right. There's our array of websites. Yes. So let's move this over to the server side. To do that, let's create a server-side service, which it's going to live right next to this user service server. So let's create that. Let's create a new JavaScript, and we'll say this will be website.service.server.js. There it is. Here we're gonna grab some of the same things that we have for users. We're going to require the app, right? Express, right? And one of the things I like to be able to do is retrieve this list of websites. To do that, the URL should look something like, well, first of all, it's a read operation, right? We want to be able to retrieve that information. So it would be something like app.get, right? We need to be able to listen for an incoming request read operation, right? And the URL is going to look something like /API/assignment, right? We want the list of websites, but not all of them, right? This one, right? The way we'd interpret that is that I want all the websites, yes, right? And would it be a legitimate use case that somebody can see a list of all the websites, regardless of who they belong to? Right? We don't have that use case in our project, right? But perhaps a system administrator would have that use case, right? I want to see all the use case across all users, all developers, right? Because I want to be able to administer them. Okay, so this might be a legitimate URL, right, for some use cases. But not in the use cases that we are using right now. Instead, the use case that we have so far is that knowing a particular user, knowing their ID, then I want to see the list of websites that belong to that particular user. Correct? Right? And so to implement that, we would RESTful services suggest that this is the pattern, right, that associates two different types of entity, a parent and child entities that are in a parent-child relationship. Here's a parent, okay, then this is the list of all the parents, all the users. This is a particular user, right, that I've identified, and then these are all the children of that particular user. Make sense? Right, so this would list all the websites for that particular parent user. Make sense? All right. So to do that, we're going to implement this, and this is, find all websites for user, okay, and implementing a function of the same name with a request and a response. That makes sense, right? If we we would actually need that array of websites. Let's copy that. Let's copy that. Let's paste it in here. And for now, let's just return all the websites. Okay, let's return just to see what happens. Request. I'm going to send back JSON. I'm going to send back all the websites. Right, not for just one user, but all of them. Let's try and see what happens. Let's restart, and let's take that URL and see what happens. Right. So if we go to localhost here, localhost, and I paste that API, notice that it doesn't work. Wait, what? Oh, the colon? No, it's still. Did I restart the server? That looks right. Require. Where are you? Okay. Oh, yes. Thank you. Yes, let's go back here. This is the entry point of our website, right? Of our server-side application. So we're gonna load that. I just created the file, but didn't tell anyone. So here we're gonna go here and say that this is the website service server. Thank you. Let's restart. And no, I think I misspelled that. I think this is response, not request. Response JSON. Let's restart that. There they are. So these are all the websites. We don't want all of them. We want the websites for a particular user ID, right? Maybe for Alice's websites, right? Right now it's returning all of them because we're not filtering them. So to do that, we can go back to the what we did on the client side, right? And we have find for user. This is what we did, right? So let's copy that logic, and we can just do it here, right? We need the user ID. The user ID is in the request, right? So that's request.params.userid. Okay. Here's the result set. It's going to iterate over the websites. If it finds them, I'm going to push them into the result set. And when we find it, we're going to send back the response. Yes? Let's see. Let's restart that. What is it? Ooh, thank you. Yes. Good catch. Just checking if you're awake. Awesome. All right, so there it is. So now notice that these is a smaller subset of the websites. Those that are only for Alice. These are Bob's. These are Charlie's. Charlie has no websites, or Jen Nunzi has 3. Right? So now that we have this endpoint that we can query this, right? We can go back to the client side and start working on refactoring this part over here. So instead of using this code, right, we can go fetch it from the server, right? We can say the URL, right? It's going to look like something like this, right? It's going to look something like that, right? Where here is plus user ID, plus and plus that. Once we have that, we're going to generate a get using the $HTTP service, right? And this will be $, going to return $HTTP.get the URL. Okay, we're going to unwrap it for the controller. Here's the raw response, and it's going to return response.data. Right, on the controller side, the website list, where are we? Website list, websites, views, user, website lists. I think it's this one, the controller, website list controller. Right, instead of doing this, right, now this is asynchronous. I'm going to change this to be asynchronous instead. I'm going to grab this out of here. Now this is going to be asynchronous. This is going to return a promise with the actual websites coming from the server, right? And we're just going to copy that here, right? So if we restart, and start this again. Why is it so big? Right? If we refresh, notice that it worked. Right? This data is coming from the server now. It's not coming from the client. Right? It's no longer using that array, this result set. Right? It's notice that if we look at the network traffic, and log out. Right? If we log out, log in. If we clear this and we go Bob login, there we are in the profile. Let's clear that. And if we navigate to the websites, notice that it comes back with an array right from the server. The server is the one who's providing the data now. If instead I log in with Alice and log in, and then I go to websites, notice that the websites are coming. The 3 websites are coming from the server now, right? They're not coming from the local client web service. Make sense? All right. All right. We'll keep working on this tomorrow.